My name is Hector Meza. I'm an executive sales engineer for Zebra Technologies, covering the healthcare vertical. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Workcloud Communication and how we present a solution in the healthcare environment that is really tailored towards healthcare in particular. So Workcloud Communication is really a combination of a couple of different solutions in one. So the way we look at communication is first telephony. The easiest way to explain it is I've got a SIP type of client, right? I'm talking on to a PBX using my extensions and calling. The other side of the communication process is really about role-based and really walkie-talkie-like communication. So think along the lines of push-to-talk pro being walkie-talkie, but really with a soft client that does a little bit more. So we think of walkie-talkie with fixed channels, 1 through 36. We're actually going to have dynamic groups that says, this is my talk group, and I can talk to one person or many people. In addition to talking, I can send out messaging, and I can do other things with the push-to-talk side of it that we'll kind of get into it in a couple of seconds. So I'm going to start off with a pretty easy little sample. So we're going to start off on the voice side. So as a clinician, I have different roles that I play. As a charge nurse, I typically have a dedicated extension. I've got a landline. I need that extension to follow my mobile device. I'm going to log in with single sign-on. In this case, I'm using an Imprivata badge, tapping the back of my device. It'll log in this persona, and this is actually Ashley Brill, who's actually a charge nurse. And as a charge nurse, she only has voice, but she's got a dedicated extension. Now, I mentioned the difference on what we do for a clinician. The beauty and the strength of Workforce Connect voice is I can dynamically change the layout to match my workflow. So in the case of Ashley, I've got a couple of different buttons that I've exposed, one of them being my unit contacts. I hit that button, on all my common contacts for my unit come up. I don't have to fumble through and remember anybody's extension, it's there. I can go to my procedural areas. Hey, I need to call the pharmacy, I need to call the lab. So think along the lines of what a clinician needs to do to be able to quickly dial somebody in an area. The other thing they'll do is my ancillary areas. Hey, I need somebody in admissions, somebody in food service, etc. Once again, I've taken the piece of paper that typically is highlighted in yellow. Most nurses have their favorite contacts, they're all in here. In addition to that, I can pull in the full directory list from my CUCM, in this case the Cisco Unified Call Manager. It's going to show me the full list of everybody in the hospital. I can do other things on here. I can actually, if I pull this up, I can actually launch an application directly from within the voice client. I've got the physician on the line. He wants to know when my patient's last doses took place. I'm going to launch Epic Rover in this case. Do you want to launch Epic? Yes, I do. I am now looking at the patient record, talking to the physician. I back arrow, and I'm back into my Workforce Connect communication again. So think along the lines of customization to match my workflow, applications that match my workflow, all centered. Now I'm going to take you into another one. This was Ashley with a specific extension, and I'm going to log out of Ashley, and we're going to grab a different user. So in this case, I've got Yolanda Smith. Now Yolanda Smith is not a clinician. She's got a different role. She plays a floater role. So I'm going to tap on her badge, and what Yolanda's going to have is she's going to have both the Workforce Connect push to talk as well as the telephony client. And when we look at hers, it's going to come up and say, what is your role today? Yolanda's going to be part of my supply role and my facilities role. I launched that one, and now Yolanda's going to have 2 extensions and 2 different talk groups based upon my role. So in the case of Yolanda, what I want to share with you, and we'll go into the voice client because it'll kind of show itself better, my layouts, while they're similar, they're actually different. My contact list, I've got 1 contact for common contacts, clinical, and if I swipe up, there's no Epic Rover app or anything else. So I dynamically changed this user layout based upon who I was, my role as Yolanda. And we can see I've got 2 extensions on here. I can quickly launch out of the voice client, go into the push to talk side, and it'll actually show me who's in my talk group and who is online. So I can quickly do a push to talk to that person or everybody there. I can do other things like canned messages. I need a cleanup in room 102. The message will pull up, need cleanup in and blank, and they type in 102. So I've just minimized a whole bunch of finger taps. I can do other things where Yolanda, when she logs in, needs to have some training today. So she gets a message from her supervisor saying, hey, Yolanda, you need to run this video. I can run the video, says, hey, this is my training on how I'm supposed to restock supplies. So we tie that into the workforce as well. So once again, think along the lines of what is different about what Zebra brings, and it's really about looking at you as a user, what your role is and how you're going to function, so we tailor around that. So I'm going to take us a step further, and I mentioned single sign-on. I was doing an Improbata badge. It's going to log me into everything else. The other thing I'm going to do is I've got another device, and I will share this. We've got a product doing biofacial recognition, single sign-on using a two-factor authentication. If I've got a tap-on badge and somebody steals my badge, I can log into any machine as this user. If I do a biofacial, what Zebra's done is we've gone out and we've created the ability of saying, I'm going to record a user, and I'm going to scan that barcode, take my image, log me in with my picture to match my biometric features, and now I've got the same thing with a secured launcher saying, hey, this is my floor unit nurse, this is what they have. I'm going to log out of them and do the same thing. I'm going to log in with a different barcode. So this is another user. This is my demo, so it's the same face, but it would be your face. Now I got 6 applications running. And you'll see it dynamically changing. Just as I was doing with a single tap-on, I'm doing the same concept. Now, once again, we go back and we look at what we bring to the table. On the telephony side, think of multi-PBX support simultaneously. I got bedside Rollins talking to my Cisco CUCM, so I got multiple PBX I can talk to, multiple extensions I can assign to, and more importantly, I changed the look and feel of this application to match you, the customer, and your environment. Your logo, your splash screen, etc. So one of the things I want to remind you guys all, most of this is all on Zebra's website, but more importantly, we probably want you to reach out to your direct account teams. They'll go into more depth and even set you up with some evals and demos, but really your account team can help you navigate this even deeper than we did today. I want to thank you for the time you've given me. Hopefully this was beneficial and useful. Thank you.